Hey people, what's up? Hope y'all are doing well. Well, this isn't the video I was expecting to make this week. I had a plan to do a kind of political science analysis on why we keep seeing wave elections like every midterm, but that wave this week didn't quite materialize. So let's talk about that instead. So the media explanation right now has largely to do with abortion and the young vote coming out, presumably for the student loan forgiveness. I'm a little skeptical about that. Need to dig into that a little bit more. But one thing that does seem clear is that the very, very Trumpy type candidates kind of got their asses handed to them. So let's talk about why it's long overdue for Republicans to move past Trump. Now, I know there are people who feel very dedicated to Trump, and that's an issue. The cults of personality that we've seen grow up around people like Obama and Trump are not good. People should be looking at politicians with suspicion and skepticism. No one owes any politician loyalty. Politicians will never love you back. They're like cheap tools. When they stop being useful, you throw them away and get another one. So the question here is Trump useful? What does he do other than lose and pick losers? What did he do during his presidency that deserves these levels of loyalty? I'll give him the wall. That was his baby from the very beginning, and he gets credit for that one. As far as the economy, up until COVID, Paul Ryan was largely the architect of the fiscal plan. The Supreme Court judges, well, the Federal Society largely was responsible for those, as they typically are for Republican administrations. There is a party infrastructure there that made the working part of his presidency work. It will be there for the next Republican president as well. As far as the part of his presidency that didn't work, you have the narcissism and the temper tantrums, and that is all him. I admit sometimes he was funny. Occasionally, as with the recognizing of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, his disregard for political piety was useful. But for the vast majority of the time, it was childish, stupid, and a political liability. So how did we get to this point where Donald Trump is the de facto head of the Republican Party? I think he gets too much credit for winning in 2016. Republicans were feeling pessimistic after 8 years of Obama and were reconciling themselves to the inevitability of a Hillary victory. At first, his candidacy looked hopeless, and his victory was so unexpected and so beyond the norms of political strategy that people started giving him far too much credit for making inroads into the blue wall. In hindsight, I think Trump and Hillary faced the only opposition that they could be in each other. The coalition of voters that came together for Obama only existed for him, and without that coalition, Hillary was far more vulnerable than Republicans saw at the time. This was not MAGA magic. Looking ahead to another Trump candidacy, what articulable reason could anyone give to supporting Trump in the next presidential election other than he says mean things to people I don't like? What is his policy vision? It doesn't exist. I'm not sure he could even really explain what he supports. If he were to win, he is just going to outsource it to the wonks again, so he can spend time giving speeches and soaking up the attention and feeling important. His original appeal was his combativeness. He was willing to confront the media in a way that Republicans rarely did. This has been a lesson learned, and there are many high-profile Republicans willing to call out the media without Trump's baggage. Of what use is he now? Things since 2016 have been bad. 2018 was a wave for the Democrats. Trump lost in 2020. Without COVID, Trump had a decent chance of winning there. The problem is that COVID exposed just how out of his depth he was. Were he competent, that could have been his moment. People tend to rally around leaders in times of crisis, but the leaders have to lead. They cannot be whiny in a feat. They can't pass off responsibility and pretend to be victims of circumstance. But he is no leader. After the election, he cost the Republicans 2 Senate seats in Georgia, a strong Republican state that he couldn't even win. As of now, it looks like the Senate is going to come down to a Georgia runoff again. Trump-sanctioned candidate Herschel Walker is neck and neck with Warnock and is likely to lose the runoff. The governor who stood up to Trump in 2020 won handily, and his popularity and down-ticket coattails are probably what has kept Warnock from winning outright. Trump is a Republican who can't carry reliably Republican states. If he can't win frickin' Georgia and Arizona, what good is he to anyone? People like being a part of MAGA. I get it. There's a camaraderie in fighting for the underdog cause. but the cause needs to be worth it. Trump has virtually no hope of winning the presidency. Politics is about making progress on policy. There is no reason to back someone who can't win and has no vision. Nothing gets accomplished. Some people want to go down with the MAGA ship. Understand in doing this, you're taking the Republican Party down with you and building the foundation for the takeover of everything you claim to oppose. It is time to step back, put your feelings aside, and do a cost-benefit analysis. Trump is a millstone around the neck of the GOP. Is drowning worth cushioning his fragile little ego? Look, if you still want to enjoy the fraternity of fighting for the lost cause, politics isn't the place for it. Go be a Detroit Lions fan. That's all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching to the end. If you have any comments, suggestions, corrections, drop those down below. I hope you found today's video interesting. I try to give commentary that's sometimes accurate and occasionally even sober. I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, remember, looking all for Supreme Court. Bye.